What's up guys? Today we're going to be doing a review on the Nintendo 64 in 2026, seeing how it compares to other consoles like the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X. Let's get straight into it. First things first, we got to go under here, pick out the controller you use. We use the original controller even though it's a little crusty. We'll go ahead and use it. Let's go ahead and plug it in. Obviously this has wires, so not the best. Controller plugged in. We're going to be using the game Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. I know I said that wrong. We'll go ahead and turn it on. Light shows. It's old, so obviously the boot up times are really good. They're really fast. Go ahead and play some of this. Going ahead and showing some of the gameplay. I'm gonna do one mission in this game, and that'll be it for today. So you walk with the arrow keys, look around with the stick, fire with Z, open doors with this button, and with this button you can change your mag, and this button doesn't do anything. B, you can change your weapons. A, you can zoom in. This button activates night vision. So you get one person comes with you, then a second team after that. Once you die, it switches to the person behind you. You can do this button to run, actually. So let's go ahead and open the door. I'll walk in. I've already played this mission a little bit. So if you come out here, change the magazine. They're gone. So now we'll go upstairs. So there's the hostages. There's just one hostage. You can look at your map and it'll show you blue is for the hostages, and then red will be enemies that you need to take out. So we're gonna always following my map. So we gotta find the last person. And there we go. Mission's done. Got a controller pack. You cannot save any data, so you just have to restart every time. So to reset, you hit this button, it'll reset the game and the console. Hit the switch to turn it off. This extension storage doesn't do much, it's just basically RAM. Come look at our thing down here. If you look underneath here, there's a little slot. That's your thingy. I don't know what it's for. But let's go over the controller. The controller is pretty old, but it's even back then, I guess this was acceptable, but as we're talking about 2026, this controller is very, very weird. Obviously, it has 3 handles instead of 2. The trigger button is on the middle of the controller with the middle trigger. So is the analog stick. D-pads right here, start button, A, B, and R arrow keys. Triggers are in their normal spot. This right here is an extension pack called a controller pack. Put that in to do your saves. But overall, this controller is alright, but in 2026, I would not want to see Nintendo making another controller like this. Because obviously with modern games, you need a controller that's obviously like normal. Like for an example, PlayStation 5 controller, the DualSense. Obviously it has 2 triggers or 2 analog sticks in the middle, PlayStation button, and it lines up with both your hands perfectly, and it's comfortable for shooting games, driving games, and everything you need to do. But I could not see playing Call of Duty with this controller. That would be extremely hard. But we don't have to because we have these controllers now. Alright, so with these controllers, they came with mini fake controllers, third partiers. For an example, we have Yobo, GameWare. One thing about the fake controllers is they obviously feel really, really cheap. They feel a lot lighter. They still have your expansion pack, and you still get your button, Z button, but the sticks are obviously really trash. This doesn't count because Nintendo didn't make this. But the difference between this and this is extremely obvious. This controller is a lot less used. It also ends up with a lot of stick drift. Obviously right here is where it's supposed to say Nintendo, but it does not. Nintendo made a bunch of other controllers, not just the original that comes with the console, but here's one I have for an example. It's transparent so you can see all the components. Obviously still has all your triggers, all your buttons. This is the main controller I've been using lately, and the stick compared to the fake controller is obviously a lot better. But for back then, this is not bad at all. And yeah, honestly, the fake one had to come in with their version of this controller. Let me show you guys that now. Here we are. This one's blue. As you can see, it's transparent, and it does have a decent amount of the same components as the original one. Just obviously the buttons feel a lot cheaper. And this stick is horrible, and there is a lot of dirt. But that does tend to happen with Nintendo 64 controllers. But obviously it's made by Yobo. So yes, this is a third party. Moving away from the controllers, we're gonna stick back to the main console itself and talk about the performance. Obviously this console is over 20 years old, so it's not gonna be as good as a PlayStation 5 or anything from today's matter. Nintendo 64 was a really great seller. I don't know the exact number of units that they sold, but I know it was definitely a lot because it was a great console at the time. Obviously, this was back then, and Nintendo style, they use cartridges. Game cartridges usually get a lot of dirt frequently, or dust inside of there, so obviously you gotta blow on it and stick it back in the console, and then it should work. If that doesn't work, you have to open it up with your fingers and blow right there, and it should definitely work. Say, I really like this design right here, having the N and the Nintendo 64 right there in rubber, kind of. That's really cool. 64, to my knowledge, does not have a fan because it doesn't produce enough heat for it to need a fan, because the only thing that really gives any heat is the memory expansion. So we do have some ventilation right here, but that's about it for that. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to see more gaming content. Peace out.